Hi Year 6, I hope you had a great weekend and welcome to Monday's Maths. This week we have some Christmas maths for you and today there is a Christmas mystery. So when you open the worksheet under today's maths learning, you will find the mystery of the missing Christmas angel. And the school's Christmas tree's angel is missing, everyone's going to search for it and you need to find out who finds the missing angel. There are 5 clues to work through where you're going to have to do some maths. Once you've worked through each clue, you will be able to solve the mystery. Now, you're welcome to go and have a go without me. You probably won't need me today. You'll probably be able to work through on your own. But just in case there's any maths that you're not sure of throughout the problem that you're solving, I have done a little explanation for each clue. So if you want to have a go without help, by all means stop me here and go and have a go and then come back if you get stuck. But if you want to hear a bit of guidance for each clue, then watch on. I'm going to go through each one really briefly. So if you're doing it on your own and you get stuck, you can come back and you can just forward it until the clue that you want. Okay. So in clue number 1, you are going to need to sort square numbers, cube numbers, and prime numbers. So here's a little explanation. Remember that squaring a number means multiplying it by itself. So a square number are the numbers that can be made from multiplying a number by itself. For example, 4 is a square number. So to decide if a number is square or not, you have to decide, can it be reached by multiplying a number by itself? To make a list of your square numbers, you could simply list down the calculations. 2 times 2 is 4, square number. 3 times 3 is 9, square number. 4 times 4 is 16, square number, etc. Cube numbers are very similar, but it's multiplying a number 3 times. Again, the easiest thing to do is probably make a list of your cube numbers first by doing 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, and so on. Then you would have a list of cube numbers which will help you when you sort. Prime numbers, remember, are numbers which are not in any of your times tables except their own. They only have 1 and themselves as a factor, so no other numbers will go into them. For example, 7. You only find 7 in the 7 times table. You won't find it in any others. 11 is another example. You might want to try listing down your prime numbers as far as you can go before you start. If you're not sure when you're looking through the numbers if it's a prime number or not, you need to ask yourself, does this come up in any of my times tables? And if the answer is no, then it is a prime number. That should get you through clue 1. Let's have a look at clue 2. Now clue 2 is going to be about negative numbers. So again, you probably won't need my help for this, but in case you do, I'm going to show you an example. Here is a normal number line, and you can see 0 is in the centre. These are our positive numbers, our kind of normal whole numbers, and below 0 are our negative numbers. So if you had a question like this, 8 take away 19, you'd have to start yourself on 8 and jump back 19. Now you can either do that by counting 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way down to 19, or you can jump to 0 and that will be 8. I've taken away 8 and I wanted to take away 19, so I need to take 11 more. So I can jump down 11 more. And now I've taken away 8 and I've taken away 11. So my answer, what did I land on? I landed on minus 11. So that's what the answer here would be, minus 11. Okay, if making the 2 jumps is a little bit tricky, you can literally count 19 and you'll end up in the same place. Hopefully that should help you with clue number 2. Now clue number 3. Here, you are just going to have to do some calculations. So there's some taking and there's some adding, which should be easy enough, but there's also some multiplying and dividing. Now, we took a look at this last week, but in case you didn't do that lesson, or in case you've forgotten how to do it, I'm going to really quickly talk you through long multiplication and long division. Okay, So my multiplication, I'm going to line up to do 312 times 26. I'm going to line it all up in the right place, line up my 10s and my 1s. And then I'm going to multiply each digit by 6 and then each digit by 20. So if you remember last week, we'd have 312 times 6 as my first row, and 312 times 20 as my second row. And then we work through and multiply. So I'll just quickly show you how to do it in case you've forgotten. Because in clue number 3, you're going to have a couple of multiplications. So 2 times 6 is 12, 2 there, carry the 1. 1 times 6 is 1, add 1, 7. 3 times 6 is 18. Woo. Right, get rid of that, get rid of that. Now I'm multiplying by 20. I'm going to put my 0 in. So I know it's 20 and not 2. Then 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 times 3 is 6. And then add it all together. 2 add 0, 2. 7 add 4, 11. 8 and 2 add 1, 11. 1 and 6 and 1, 8. Okay, now for the division, I'm going to need my 15 times table. So first step, get your times table written down. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. Let's leave it there and see if I need any more. Set up my division. Okay, 15 going into 2,620. So I'm going to put a 0 at the front because we're not going to go into 2. We're going to go into 26. Which number in my 15 times table is closest but below 26? So I can only get to 15. So I'll write 15 there. How many lots of 15 is that? It's 1 on my answer line. Then I do my subtraction here. 26 take away 15. 11. And I'll drag a number down. Ooh, 112. I'm going to have to go a little bit further with my multiplication. So I was at 90. Another 15 is 105. Oops, another 15 is 120. And now I can see I've gone past 112, so I'll stop. My closest is 105. So I'll write 105 there. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lots. Okay, take away. Oh, 7. Drag my last digit down. 75. Oh, and I can see 75 is actually in my 15 times table. Put that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots. Do my take away. I get to 0, which means I'm finished with no remainder. So the answer would be 175. Hope that helps for clue number 3. Let's have a look at clue number 4. This should be really straightforward for you. You're only going to look at place value. So it gives you a number in writing and it underlines part of that number and you just have to decide which one it represents. So in the number 4,054,712, that 50 there, is that 5,000? Is it 500? Is it 50,000 or is it 50? Now I can see 54,000, 50,000. So it would be this one. So clue 4 should be really straightforward for you. You just need to decide which one it represents by reading the number. Let's look at the very last clue, clue 5. This is going to be rounding and it's going to give you a statement and you have to decide whether it's correct or incorrect. So I thought I would just remind you quickly how we round with these two examples. 549, if I'm going to the nearest 10, okay, we find our number. So if we're working to tens, we find our tens number, which is that one. We look next door. So we look at the one beside it on the right. If that is 5 or more, raise the score. Okay, if it's 4 or less, we let it rest. We keep it the same. So this is 5 or more. So I'm going to take my number that's underlined up. So 549 to the nearest 10. I change my 4, take it up, and then I fill with zeros. Okay, one more example. I want to go to the nearest 100 now, so I find my number. I find the hundreds number, which is 7. I look next door. If it's 5 or more, I raise my number. If it's 4 or less, my number rests. So it's less than 4, so 2. So that number stays the same. So 3,729 to the nearest 100 is 3,700. Because the 7's staying the same and the rest are filled up as zeros. Okay, let's have a look at this statement. 4,609 rounded to the nearest 100 is 4,600. So hundreds number, look next door. It's less than 4, so I'm going to leave my number the same. So that is correct. Okay, that's your last clue. You should have everything that you need now. If you need to come back to the video as you're working through for some little reminders, then please do. But good luck. I hope you can solve the mystery.